Hi there, everybody. It's been a couple of weeks, but I'm back. And not with a stream that I thought I was going to do. This is CaneFan701, yours truly. I've returned, but as I said, with a stream I thought I'd never do again. As you know, it's apparently last night, the Star Wars fandom was just absolutely broken to its foundation. And I don't think it will ever recover from this now. As you can tell by the title on my stream, but the avatar that has myself and my Star Wars OC along with Darth Vader, this is kind of more like a stream of mourning, because last night, just when I was about to go to bed, after having a great day out with my dad, I actually found out an hour before midnight or so that Earl Jones, the original voice of Darth Vader, passed away at the age of 93. That's quite a long life to live, and I never knew he was that old. He looked pretty much the same as he had when I saw him in interviews and whatnot. And it was actually a couple of years ago, during 2019, that he voiced Mufasa for The Lion King. And, he could still do it. He had that voice in him that everybody recognizes, that distinctive voice, which, of course, in the original animation of The Lion King, James Earl Jones voiced Mufasa in that one too. But everybody remembers him as the voice as Darth Vader. The voice that many felt was evil, but instead had this very soft, dark, sinister, calm approach. But I mean, that's who Vader was. We all thought he was this big evil guy who didn't have no soul in him. And James Earl Voice's voice box, the voicing that he did helped him make him become so larger than life. That chilly, dark voice that he would give. I mean, it's inspired other people. I mean, I've seen other guys who do Darth Vader voices, and they're very, very good. But they'll just never be at the same level that James Earl Jones did it. It's just so iconic that you cannot replace it. Now we have great actors nowadays who can continue the legacy of Darth Vader. No matter how many times we see fans dress up like him, or for those who are voice actors or in the Star Wars fandom who do their own fanfic voices of him, it cannot beat the original. But now I feel like the Star Wars fandom has once again broken, because this is reminding me so much when we lost David Prowse in 2020, the man who played Darth Vader behind the mask. And now I feel like it's all over again, this time with the voice of Darth Vader now gone. I truly feel that I don't know how I'm saying this, but I feel like we've lost Darth Vader entirely now. Like the original portrayer who did him behind the mask, the man who brought his voice to life. I just feel that the original Darth Vader's gone now. Entirely. Regardless who plays him nowadays and who voices him in the future, regardless how it happens, it just doesn't feel right anymore. The mystique of who Vader was, the guy who played him, the voicing that brought him to life, that made him probably the most greatest tragic villain and hero of all time ever to exist in the space fantasy universe, is gone. I just feel like that's it. I feel like that, the era of Star Wars that we knew is done. I know there's some of the actors around still alive, but with Vader's loss, I feel like all of us, every Sith Lord or Jedi, whether you're an Anakin Skywalker fan or a Darth Vader fan, I feel like it's done. It's gone. And I can't believe it. I literally just feel so empty. I woke up this morning so empty. Despite, I was listening to Darth Vader's theme last night. I was watching a couple of the movies. I was even just hanging out, having some fun, because I felt kind of in a Star Wars mood. And then this happened. I don't know what's happened, man. I'm broke, man. I literally feel like it's done. I just feel like, the love of Star Wars is dying out. I feel like this is it. the final straw for a lot of us fans who are Darth Vader fans and Anakin fans, but it's just, that's how it is. But we'll never stop loving the fandom. But I felt like this is how I felt like when we lost David Prowse. It's like we've lost more than a family or a friend. I feel like we lost a brother or a father figure or someone to look up to idolize or someone that we can relate to. That's how much Vader meant. I was fortunate to meet David Prowse, in 2005 when I met up with him behind the mask as Darth Vader. I mean, that's one lucky thing, but the idea was for me was, I wanted to meet up with James Earl Jones, the voice actor. Then I could have said I've met Darth Vader as a whole. Like, the man behind the mask was one thing, but to see the guy in person, the guy who voiced him, would have completed the full circle. And now I just feel like that's it. Like, I mean, there'll never be another man to play Vader as he was. And the voice dubbing, despite who we saw, I mean, I know people use like the AI voice box of Darth Vader nowadays who has James Earl Jones' voice in, which is kind of cool and all. But even that doesn't feel right. I'm not saying it's not disrespectful, but I feel like that now, I feel like for the rest of the year, or maybe for a while, I think a lot of Star Wars fans are going to have to like take a major step back because I don't think it's set in yet for a lot of the others who have yet to know. But I do feel like the older generation, those who were there from the very beginning, from 1977 when it all began, to us in the 90s, because I was a Star Wars fan since 97, and a part of me just feels like that this era's finished. I feel like it is mostly gone, but yet we still love it. Like, there's other guys out there who can keep the spirit of Star Wars going, like the original fandom, despite what's going on now. But one of the things I really feel that was lucky, that we were so fortunate enough, is that when the Obi-Wan Kenobi series came out, that was the last time James Earl Jones ever voiced as Darth Vader. And, I think if I recall this correctly, like he said, once he did it, he was done. He would never voice dub ever again. And, even at the age he was at that time, what was it, in 2021 or 22, or wherever it was when the series came out, he could still do it. He was still the menacing Darth Vader that we just all knew and loved, and but what's funny about it, not like in hilariously funny, but what I've always found incredibly amazing about Vader's voice is that for me, it never scared me. I mean, it gave me the impression how I would have spoken to intimidate others, but over time, it just feels like it's a more softer father approach figure that you could think. Like when you think of Vader and the voice, I think some of us think a lot of our own fathers, Like, I think of my own dad sometimes when I think of Vader when he's a good, had he been a good father. And at the same time, even I feel that way. Like, I feel like I'd become Darth Vader. I mean, it was actually him that got me how my voice box broke, when I was only a mid-teenager, and that was why I have a very distinctive, deep voice, because how much Darth Vader's voice, inspired me. And James Earl Jones was the main reason. I know some of you guys are probably thinking, this is really difficult. And I'm trying to hold back, man, because I'm choked up on the inside. I mean, you can't see me right now, but I actually have my lightsaber on. Actually, no, I actually got it on yet because I was going to light it up because it's my way of mourning. I have yet to do so, but maybe I'll do it later. But at the same time, I just feel so gutted. I feel broken up. I feel like I've lost a part of who I am as a Star Wars fan forever. I can just only imagine what some of the actors who are still alive when they find out, or they have been told. But as I tell you right now, I mean, I know the character of Darth Vader is still alive with us, but in a very strange way, I feel like that we've lost him physically, now. Like, we've lost the actor who played him in 2020, and only 4 years later, his voice is gone. James Earl Jones, who brought him to life. I just feel like the original mystique of Vader is no longer there now, like it's done. And it's going to be a really bad effect. And I feel that the fandom, the entire Star Wars community, is never going to recover. And I don't think the modern day generation will have no idea, nor they will understand just how much Vader meant to us. The new generation can go back and look at the archives and look at all the stuff and everything else, but they never get to grow up like we did. How it was in the 90s and the early 2000s for us. You know? That sort of thing. And that's what this modern day fails to capture. Besides those who do the What If series on YouTube, which are very, very popular. I just feel like that right now, that I feel like it's just breaking. I feel that bad. I really do. And I can sense some of you guys might be feeling the suffering I feel now. Hey there, Marguerite. I'm glad you've taken notice as well. And if you ever want to pop in and give me some comfort, I can. Because right now, I'm losing words to say. I really am finding it very, very hard to keep my composure. Because I literally feel like I've lost a part of my childhood forever and a bit of the love that Star Wars brought to me. And again, it feels like I've lost Vader entirely. Because he had a big, big influence on my life. Yeah, hang on a second. Let me just get my saber on right now. Yeah, I'm just gonna get ready before then, and I'll have to get the volume turned off because this saber, as you know in my past streams, is very loud because it has a very, very strong voice box in it. So I do apologize if it does get a little bit distracting. Hang on. Yeah, just bear with me, everybody. Like I said, I'm just trying to get this set up here because it has so many variations of the lightsaber blade igniting and different variations. So that can be a bit of a pain. So I do apologize if any of you guys are wondering what the heck's going on. Okay, I think I found it. Something called the Dark Lord Order, whatever it's called, but it's got Darth Vader's ignition sound on it, so I know what saber it came from. Okay, Madras, I'm just about to put it in here right now.
Hey.
Hey there, Marguerite. It's nice to see you make your debut on my stream for the very first time, but not the stream.
Please call me Margie. Call me
Sorry,
Margie.
Sorry, I'm still not used to it. But again, that's just part of my condition. I can't slip up on names. It's how I pronounced it.
Yeah.
Again, welcome to the stream, anyways. But I didn't expect this would be the first time we'd have it on. But yeah, I literally have woken up like literally good, and I literally just cannot stop thinking and listening to Star Wars music and everything because of the loss of this. Because this is the exact same way I was back in 2020 when we lost David Prowse, and the whole
Yeah.
fandom was broken that badly.
Yeah.
Now I feel like I've lost Darth Vader entirely because of his voice dubber. You know, the man who did, Mufasa in The Lion King, and that's another thing I
Yeah. Yeah.
remembered him for. And I've seen everyone on DeviantArt, everyone's been doing tributes to him already at such an incredible pace that some have put Mufasa and Vader together, and
Yeah.
it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Um. I was gonna say I could only imagine the sadness that the Transformers community will face if Peter Cullen or Frank Welker, the voices of Optimus Prime and Megatron, were to pass away. They would be broken.
Yeah,
We
I
would
mean,
all be broken. I mean,
well,
I grew up with Transformers. I didn't grow up with Star Wars.
well, like I said, if you ever did get the opportunity, like you should give it a go. Like I said before, I mean, Star Wars is the greatest space adventure of all time. I mean, I know Star Trek has its own thing, but again, because I've just recently started getting back into it again. I mean, not that I've lost my love for it, it's just the fact was I was getting newer memorabilia stuff. I got the Jedi Path and the Sith Lord book, and I was just getting some newer stuff. I even got my first Lego of Darth Vader for the first time since the 90s, and I just couldn't believe it. And now having all this, I feel like I won't be able to get anything for a long, long time. I think I might not be able to have any Star Wars stuff or go to any memorabilia stuff right now because I'm too gutted. I might have to put that to rest for a bit until maybe a full year has passed because we've lost a lot already recently because we've been losing, you know, actors left and right. I mean, hell, in the Japanese of Azure Lane, which is like ship girls who served in World War Two or World War One, as human beings, but they look like they're human. We lost one of the Japanese actresses who did the Japanese dub of my favorite vessel, HMS Hood, and her actress passed on. Same one who did Turpitz in the video game, who was Bismarck's twin sister. I mean, she just passed just recently, and I was trying to recover from that because they just celebrated 6 years of the video game's existence because that's a different franchise and anime altogether.
Yeah.
And now this has just struck, and I'm thinking, what the hell's going on? We're losing heroes left, right. They're coming out of nowhere, and like, I mean, this year's been a crazy cluster, but not all of it
Yeah.
has been bad. But with this and everything else, I'm like, what the hell's happened? Like, I mean, we lost a bit last year, but this is just insane. Like, I didn't think the Star Wars community were going to lose another one this year. Like, I was hoping not, but
Yeah, I
you know,
mean, I lost my grandfather last year, and the year before that, my cat. Yesterday was the second year anniversary of my cat's death.
well, like, it's funny you and I have a lot in common because come November, I mean, it will mark the anniversary of my granddad's passing because he went at 83 years of age in 2017, the same year that my life would begin to crumble because, I lost my lover after 8 years, my last girlfriend I ever had. Family issues
What
would happen.
what happened to her?
She's still alive. It's just the fact was that we had to end our 8 year relationship. I mean, she was 5 years behind me in terms of age, so she was okay.
Oh,
And she was
oh.
autistic, just like me and you.
Mhm,
And of course, she was Irish. I've got a bit of Irish in me too, but she
mhm.
was my first one I had. And problem was, her brother was killed in a crossfire, you know,
Oh,
in Ireland. That's why we had to end our relationship.
oh my God.
I know it was. I mean, he wasn't supposed to be killed in a crossfire that they had in Ireland, which was typical of them. And she couldn't get over with, and I'll admit, I wasn't. I mean, I was prepared, but I wasn't ready for how it was going to affect me. And there's one thing I will say: I wasn't honest enough, and that's what she made me become. You know, she turned me into an honest man, and
Mhm.
we both loved Star Wars. Star Wars is what really brought us together, and I felt like I did my job. Like, I made her mature better, and maybe that was a good thing, I guess, because we
Yeah.
were like master and apprentice almost in a bizarre way. That's how it felt like, right? And then we loved Disney, and as well, we did like a little bit of anime. But it was always Star Wars that brought us together. That's what it was, and Disney too. But again, like I said, I'm just, you know, it's really difficult. Like I said, after that happened in 2017, everything just kept falling apart. Besides the summer of that year, which was brilliant. But just ignore that. That's my notifications pop in there. But at the same time, you know, that's how it started, and since then I've recovered since. But boy, did I become one jealous SOB after that, because there were others like me who had lovers, and I felt like they didn't deserve it. Like, my dad knew what I was going to go through. It's basically what happened to Darth Vader. I became conflicted with myself, and I'm just, you know, again, you can see the connection. I was just so broken, and I never recovered for a long time until I managed to reach out, and I spoke to my ex-girlfriend, Jordan Galloway, that's her name. Thankfully, we spoke, and we patched things up, and I told her I forgave her, because I didn't feel like I wasn't being honest with her enough. And it was a good way to, you know, have a good conclusion, and that's what we did. And from there, I felt like I made the right decision. In the end, you know, I forgave her enough, and she felt better about it, because she was hurt more than I did, and she didn't know, but she had no idea the tragedy of what I was going through. But like I said, when I reached out with her in 2020, as you know, during that dark, depressed stage we were all going through globally, not the pandemic-wise, but the other stuff that was going through, it made me know that they were still good to know that, you know, we had forgiven one another, and that was it. I've moved on since. But again, and that's when my granddad passed in November, and 83, and I recovered almost immediately after his funeral, because he told me to keep smiling, think of the good times, because he was the man in my family that had respect, which is kind of gone on a bit in my family. But it was him, you know, he was a proper Brit, you know, you would have loved him, man. He was basically the Alice Guinness, you know, of my family. Yes, who played Obi-Wan in Star Wars in the original, bless him. And that's how bad it felt. You know, after he passed, I felt like I'd lost that, and then I just got better over time. It's just with this now, like I said, you know, and of course, I recently passed the anniversary of my dog's passing in July, which, you know, after having him for like, what, 14 years or so, you know, it was really, that was back in 2016, a year after, before my granddad would pass. And like I said, I mean, since 2017, I did slip down badly. As I said, this, I'm trying to get my name pronounced. I'm not trying to be just here. It's just that I'm still not used to it. But like I said, I'm really broke, man. Like, I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to watch Star Wars for a long time. Let alone I won't be able to listen to Darth Vader for quite a long time until I can come to grips with this.
Yeah.
Like I said,
I mean, I feel your pain. I mean, if Peter Cullen was to die, I would be devastated, no doubt.
I remember Peter Cullen, and I know his name very well.
Yeah.
I mean, it was bad enough when we lost Carrie Fisher, who did Princess Leia in the same year when she passed in 2017. That was gutful enough.
Yeah.
And then we lost whose name was Peter Mayhew, who played Chewbacca. I mean, that was bad enough. And then, you know, R2D2, who we lost a couple of years back. You know, he's, you know, Fringe Talk comedian who played him.
Yeah.
And now I just feel like I've just lost Vader entirely. Like, when he passed in 2020, David Prowse, that was so bad I could not stop crying for ages. I mean, I did my stream once, you know, and I don't know how I held it together. Like, I was professional. But I know everybody was talking in the fandom.
Your voice is glitching. I'm gonna have to rejoin. Hang on a second.
Okay. Okay. Hey there, Pogmus.
Yo.
So if you popped in at a very tragic time, because we just lost James Earl Jones, the original voice actor of Darth Vader. And
Oh, I already know about it. Don't worry. Yeah, I already know.
I know I'm broke, man. I literally am gutted. I know you. It's rare. I don't usually show my sadness on camera muchly, but I am so busted. I am. Like, I can't believe it. Again, sorry if my voice is
I know.
glitched out. It's just my Wi-Fi connection is not working good at the minute. I mean, my connection's alright, but it's on here because weather outside has been absolutely a cluster. It's been full of rain. Now sunshine's come back out, and I don't know, man. I mean, I was feeling so good last night, and as I was speaking about it, I don't know how I did not wake up all night. I just felt broken, and I thought I could hear Vader's voice calling last night, as if he was saying, like in the words of Mufasa from The Lion King, he said something like, remember who you are, and may the force be with you, or wherever it was. I could hear it in my dream asleep. It was like, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and I thought Vader was right there. And I'm not talking mental batshit crazy here. Like, this was legit. And I thought like he was right there, and then he was like a force ghost. And it just re-sank in, and I just can't believe it. I mean, I've yet to put my lightsaber on, which is going to sound a little loud. I've put it on volume low. There's only 2 volume sets in here.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, that's why I've got my black cap on, which I only just got these a couple of weeks back. And I've even got my Darth Vader t-shirt on as well, which I was wearing last night because I went to the cinema with my dad. Then just as soon as this happened, I just couldn't believe it. At the age of 93, that's how old James Earl Jones was. I didn't think he was that old.
Damn.
Yeah, Peter
Yeah.
Cullen, he's in his 80s.
I know. It's unbelievable. And yet, in Star Wars Obi-Wan, in that series where Vader came back, I mean, he could still do it. Like, he really did have the voice that had not changed, and he was still there. I was like, whoa. Even in his 90s. I think at that point, James Earl Jones was about 90 or so when he did it, and he could still do it. I'm thinking, how's he going? How is he still legit keeping his voice in check, despite how old he had gotten at that point? And I was like, truly, like he was going to live long enough. I didn't realize he had lived that long, because when I've seen him, I just thought he was like how old my dad would be at this point, in his 70s, and he looked younger still than he did.
Yeah, it's a sign that he was very healthy.
He looked healthy enough,
Yeah. But of
And
course, age catches up.
in many different ways. But he said it. He did say though at the end of it he would never voice Vader again, and he kept his word. I mean, I know there's other guys right now who are doing a heck of a good job as Vader. I mean, there's even AI voices, which you can find sites which are very, very good. But I just feel like, I'm not saying it's not a disrespect, but it's just not quite the same.
Yeah.
Like I said,
I
I
can
haven't got
tell.
a blade on yet. But like I said, I might as well just, I might as well just do it anyway. And it's going to sound loud. It might drown my hearing. But like I said, I might as well put it on to show my mourning, because I feel like everybody else right now who've got these custom sabers, anywhere else has gone, they might have to put them on red to mourn the loss of Vader's voice actor, which is what I'm going to have to do at this point. So I do apologize if this is going to sound a bit too loud. Like I said, I'm just trying to keep it together. I really am, despite I'm really choking up on the inside.
Yeah.
Yep, that's Vader's lightsaber sound. So I know
Damn.
what blade came from. Don't worry, it'll turn itself off when I don't move it too much. Like I said, I've had many variations over time, but it's just, I don't know, it just feels bizarre. Like I can't even hold on tightly as much.
Yeah.
My left arm is just quivering, as if I can't hold it as much. Like I said, I'm not sure how to go about this as much, because I know nobody else are thinking what the hell's going on and everything, but I just never thought I'd do this, man. I never thought I'd be doing a stream again on Darth Vader again with the loss of his voice actor. And now, because I was broken, like I said before, when we lost David Prowse a few years ago, and with this, like I said, I don't think the Star Wars fandom is never going to recover, and I don't feel like there won't be much to continue on because, I mean, I don't think Vader can go any further now with the whole franchise or whatever. But until it finally sinks in with a lot of other guys, I feel like that for most people, I think they're done. Like, I'm not saying it's done for me because I'll still love Star Wars regardless, but it just cannot be the same to watch again. I mean, heck,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to bring myself to cosplay as Darth Vader anymore, or even voice dub him like I would like to, because of the impact.
Yeah.
Just when I thought 2024 wasn't getting any more clustered, you know. I mean, the Thomas
Yeah,
fandom.
the
Oh,
3 recent years have been really difficult for me and my family. So, yeah.
so if I'm trying to not dominate too much, have I got that right? I'm trying to get your name pronounced right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Just ignore this here. I'm just going to put this on mute, see if it's loud enough.
Unstable.
Oh, that's the wrong lightsaber blade. That'll mean it'll be very different now. So, oh, that's the flash blade. Oh dear, that's the unstable blade. Sorry about that.
No,
Whoops.
it's fine.
Rainbow blade.
Nope, we don't want the rainbow blade. That's the anime Japanese lightsaber blade color. So ignore that.
Candy blade.
That's what these blades have.
Cracked blade.
Oh, there it was. Vader's breathing, so I got the right blade. That's why it's flashing. It's called the cracked blade.
Pulse.
Pretty much the same, except the whole blade's pulsing. Not quite the one I was looking for, but I know I had the right blade on it. Like, that was Vader because I heard his breathing then, so I know which one it was. Like I said, I don't even feel right, to be honest, doing this whole thing, but at the same time, I feel like everybody should know. Again, Pogmus, I'm doing okay in the Thomas fandom because it is looking okay, but nothing wrong has come out as much since. I really do feel like I woke up this morning really weird. Like I didn't feel like myself. Just felt like I wasn't. Like I said, I mean, I look all right on camera, but I don't feel like I'm there. Like a part of me is missing.
Yeah. I didn't sleep well last night either, so yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I guess all of us had a very unusual connection thing last night. All of us.
I mean, for me, nothing really unusual happened, I'll be honest. Because, I mean, again, I was, like, way too sleepy to, like, even check what would be going on, so, like, I just, like, went to sleep like a normal person would.
Broken ignition.
Broken ignition. Oh, that's the wrong broken ignition.
Ooh. Okay, that was a bit interesting.
Yeah, the broken ignition blade was like ignition, but it was flashing off like a torch thing.
Photon ignition.
I have to get going. I'll see y'all later.
Okay, Mike.
Alright.
Nice to see you. Come back
See ya.
again when you can. Again, thanks for popping in. You know, appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I guess may the force be with her. I guess, but at the same time, you know, I'm broken, man. Pogmus, like I said, like I'm really trying to keep my composure, man. I don't normally like to cry on camera, but I just feel like my whole Star Wars world has just been obliterated.
Yeah, I can tell, but I mean, again, even though this is a very unfortunate saying, but you know what they say, not everything can last forever, I'm sorry to say.
I know it can't, but by continuing on, it would. But who knows? I mean, people think that Thomas fandom wasn't going to last forever, but look, it's still going, despite how clusterfuck that is at the minute. Still, if you were to compare, it to the trains fandom, like how we play it, that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to the
Yeah.
trains fandom, that's kind of the last safety net for us all. If you want to include the real fans of the Thomas fandom who try and cling on and do what they can, that's fine. It's just as a whole, it's just not. Whereas in the Star Wars universe, it's kind of still stable, but not as broken as the fandom of Thomas's. As you can see there, you can see by my avatar, that's myself in my Star Wars character with Darth Vader as our way of mourning this loss. That's kind of what I'm doing.
I could see that.
Because I didn't really want to show up. You know, I didn't want to break into tears, which I'm nearly about to almost. I'm so good, bro, man. Honestly, I don't think I'll be able to go to any Comic-Con stores or whatever, or get anything at this point until it finally settles in, until I can finally break free of it. Oh, wrong blade shot. Oh, that was the wrong blade ignition there for a second. Yeah, like I said, that was the wrong ignition. I think that was the warp ignition. Yeah, that's definitely Vader's breathing. I heard it. Oh, I see you got your icon of Thomas in another British Railway livery style, or is that?
It's actually my OC, which was made by a friend of mine.
Oh, so that's your OC now? Because I thought you were a Great Western Pannier tank engine when I first
I
met
was actually a S100 duck tank.
you. So instead, you're going to be one of Rosie's siblings in your OC variation, just with a Thomas face.
Well, yeah, because, like, hold on. My OC actually used to be an E2 class, but then I switched to an S100 duck tank because I just felt like... Because, like, again, the E2s were a bit overused for, like, OC, like, why? So, like, it was kind of decided to go for S100 duck tank. But the catch is, my OC is mainly based on the actual S100 duck tanks.
I get it. Like I said, I don't always look at OCs as being overused like you might think. But obviously with me, I'm Gordon or Henry or whatever the case in my OCs. But if I was to have been an E2, I would have gone for being an NER one. That's just me. I mean, Brandon's an E2, but he keeps changing OCs himself. Whereas in my universe, he's strictly a Canadian E2. But anyways, Bogmus, like I said, that's really good. But I always joke of it like Thomas has become the very thing he once hated, you know. That's a good joke. But there I can see what you're trying to get at. So I feel like that's pretty cool. Like I said,
Yeah.
not very often I see OCs in Rosie's form, to be honest, but it does come off quite well.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, sorry, wrong blade. That's a Mace Windows blade version. Sorry.
Ooh, purple.
Yeah, aka Samuel Jackson himself, who played Mace Windu. But yeah, the lightsaber blade is actually my birth coloring. That's basically my own. But it was called the Master, so that was obviously Mace Windu's blade.
Mm-hmm.
The third hunter.
Oh, wrong one. Sorry if that was the wrong blade again, although it's close to my own, except I don't know whose blade that is in terms of who's the hunter in Star Wars. Can't always recognize everybody's blade in the universe of Star Wars.
The sun.
Mm-hmm.
I know for a fact that was Luke Skywalker, because it said the sun, so that's actually him.
Ooh, green. Ooh.
Basically, that's Henry and Percy and Duck and Oliver and anybody else who's green on Sodor. That's their blade. Just, it's a joke.
Now the Northwestern Railway green.
Yes. Green for glory, as I like to call it. But like I said, I'm trying to keep myself by with this like we're doing here so I can keep my composure. But right now, I'm just absolutely still on the inside. Like my stomach's really cracked up with emotion, and I'm just trying not to show it too much. But damn, man,
Just keep your dignity in, all right?
that's what I mean. My dignity is the only thing that's keeping me intact. You know, that's what Gordon would tell me.
The dark.
Oh, dear dignity.
Who? Oh yeah.
Oh, dear dignity.
Oh, that's the other blade of Luke.
Blue.
It's still blue. It's like a lighter blue.
I mean, blue's my favorite color after all. I said that blue is my favorite color.
No, it's
Yes.
just like Thomas. Yeah.
Yeah, because like in real life, my eyes are actually blue. Like, and I color likewise.
I get it. I know skylight blue. I mean, whenever I see it, I think of the sea or the sky. That's how I look at it as. Not that I always say I don't agree with with Thomas's term when you say blue is the only proper color for orange. And I know it's a good gag. Don't get me wrong, but there's more. Even though that is actually the original Northwestern livery, quote unquote, since Thomas, Edward, and Gordon, they were painted blue more, and Henry was blue briefly. But I just feel like once it's overused, but it does feel like that's kind of the original livery. But then again, there's more of the color than just being blue. Unless, as I like to say, unless you're going to get the blue field syndrome.
Yeah.
And what's next? And then you're going to have that silly, and then the silly song, I'm blue, dabba dee dabba die. Ugh. I know.
Blue, dabba.
I know. It was a funny. Yes, I mean, I know there was a YouTube poop who did it once when Edward says, I'm blue, and then it plays the theme. I know where it came from. It's a good joke. But I know, even you remembering it now, aren't you, where it came from? But I will admit, the song of I'm Blue is basically, I like the gothic version, which is a much better version to the original. Which is basically the one that a certain guy in a parody of my favorite wrestler, Kane, who's dubbed as Blue Kane, and it's quite hilarious. It's a good parody rib, but at the same time, I feel like that's the version of I'm Blue is one more used to hearing, and it sounds very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, there's an original thing here now. We've lost a lot of these Star Wars guys for a few years. The only guys that are left in the series now is just Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford. Oh wow, and last night the Empire State Building lit up, and they had a lovely shot of Darth Vader with his lightsaber on. And now everyone's doing like AI forms of Darth Vader and Mufasa together, because that's the guys he voiced.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just great, I mean, I know James Earl Jones voiced what was the most evil voice actor, and or whatever the case, but at the same time, he always sounded like a good character, like you just couldn't hate him. Like, he had that very dark, calm, distinctive voice. And, that's the thing with grown people. I mean, especially when it comes to people who have that sort of, that voicing that I'm liking. It's that soft tone I like to hear when I talk as a grown man. Like now, for instance, like there's that deep tone coming out. Oh, my blade again. I'm just trying to get that Darth Vader blade. It's going to be a long, long pause to go around.
The night.
Oh, wrong one. That's Kylo Ren's one. Boo. Hey, Kylo Ren.
The assassin.
That's Darth. There we go. This might have to do for the time being. That's Darth Maul's blade. Despite the fact that's the same livery that James had, but that doesn't mean he's a Sith Lord. I mean, that would not be suitable for him. But I'm just kidding anyway. But in any cases, Pugmas, is there anything else that's been going on while I've been absent for a while? Like, anything, like, in particular?
The dark sword.
Yeah. I was kind of lucky how the lightsaber sort of broke the silence because hold on, like when you asked me that question, I didn't really know what to answer with, and then onto the lightsaber broke the silence.
Until the lightsaber broke the silence. I don't know why, that sounded very poetic. There we go, now here's blue for you. Basically, this is Anakin Skywalker's blade. This is the one that Thomas would be using right now.
Mm-hmm.
Again, man, like I said, the addicted for Star Wars is all I've got left at this point. But it's just, I just feel like right now everybody's still mourning in grief at this point. But I just feel like the company who owns Star Wars at this point will do what they can, but not for the sake of what we're going to do. You know, they're like, oh, James Earl has, and then they'll just put some money over it and whatever the case. But yeah, but I feel like it's going to have to change. Like, change really big. Because right now I just feel like the whole Star Wars universe is just crumbling badly. I'm not saying it's over, but it just feels like it, if you get my thing. It feels like we've lost more than this. It feels like we lost a fellow brother or someone we idolized.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's going to be a long time before I even think of ever going back to it now. I mean, heck, like I said, I may not be able to go to any Comic-Con events or anywhere else as Darth Vader until this is really settled in.
Yeah, I get your feeling.
I know. I feel like because I don't think nobody will play as Vader. I mean, I know they will do it as a memory if they are brave enough to get their lightsabers out and whatever. I get that, but I couldn't bring myself to go anywhere else unless I was dressed in my Sith Lord robe and then walking down the street with my saber on. That would cause some weirdo. That would be weird, but at the same time, it would be
Yeah.
my way of honor. It'd be my way of honoring the man who brought Vader to life in the voice wise. I know most people wouldn't get that, but that's the impact for you. Hey there, Bradley. If you want to pop in, you can. Right now you know where I've been. I'm just still gutted, man. I'm mourning still. Yes, Vader's epic line would be like, "We would be honored if you would join us." This is quite a catchy line, but then he has like, "You don't know the power of the dark side," or any other. It's just that to me, anything that Vader says is iconic now as James Earl Jones. But I don't know, man. He was the only guy from the Darth Vader original I never got to meet. I mean, I've met David Prowse, but I never got to meet, the man behind him.
Got disconnected. Sorry about that.
Okay, for some reason it just said the Dark Lord Revisited. I think this is Darth Revan's blade. This is the one. This is my OC version.
Ooh.
The champion.
I'm not sure who that one is.
Serenity. Idol.
Again, like I said, and also Pogma, since you've made your new OC up, do you have like any ideas that maybe you might have your own rolling stock, like you have your own coaches or whatever the case may be, if you get my drift?
I mean, I know what you're saying, but never really planned it because, I mean, he's just mainly a shunter who just mainly shunts at yards, but he does sometimes pull trends from time to time if needed. Like either
Cyberterror.
passengers or goods.
Codex of Light.
Wrong one. Yeah, this is definitely an anime blade. The Japanese manga stuff. Silly effects. Feels like I'm chopping through slimes or whatever it is with that effect, or someone's just throwing blood blasts at us or whatever it is.
The Count.
That's Count Dooku, aka Christopher Lee's blade.
Bounty.
Mm.
Redeemed.
That's basically my redeemed blade. Still green as well as, Pugmas, but not as green as it was with the last one. So either way, it's like I said, I'm just doing my best, man. If anybody else wants to pop in, they're more than welcome to if you want to get anybody else in.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Darth Vader's blood. I got it back now.
Stack ignition.
Okay, that's the stack ignition. What does it sound like now? Oh, like a cubex of blocks.
Warp ignition.
Oh, the warp ignition.
Phaser ignition.
The phaser ignition blade. Just really feels unusual, man, like I said, but at least I'm making the best efforts, Pokemon. So if anybody else wants to pop in, you can let them know if you like to, if anybody else is free. That's what friends do, my man.
Scavenger ignition.
Oh, the scavenger variation. That's a quick slate blade out. Yeah. I'm not sure how long I'll go for, Pugmas, but like I said, if anybody else will join, they can. Like I said, I'm just finding it so difficult. I'm really trying to keep my composure together.
Hunter ignition. Standard mode.
There we go. That's the original ignition I was looking for. There we go. Already got the blade back where it needs to be. Still got the lightsaber thing, I'll turn it south off afterwards. And like I said, man, I'm not sure how to get going, but like I said, it was a difficult one. But again, like I said, it really is a difficult time. Like, I can only believe the amount of suffering people are going to go through now. As I said, guys, man, this is a really troubling time, and I can sense the pain for everybody else. And for as long as I will say this, though, James Earl Jones, whether you're listening from this from upstairs in heaven or in the dark side shadow realm or whatever it is, thanks for the memories. You lived a good life at 93. Your name won't be forgotten, nor will you as a person. Or the voice of Darth Vader is that matter as well. Oh, damn, man. Yeah, no. What, Pugmas? You sounded like you were glitching then on my side.
Wait, what?
You sounded like you were glitching on my side then.
Wait, was I?
No, you said something that was like, kind of like someone just messed with your head, then it was like, shriblib, or whatever it was then. Don't know what that was about. Must be the signal connection. But you seem okay now. Damn. Just sounded weird then for a split second. Either ways, man. Jones Earl Jones, man. Thanks for the memories. God damn, man, may he rest in peace. Damn. Damn, James. I'm gonna miss him badly. You're the only guy in the Star Wars as Darth Vader I never got a chance to meet. Damn. Let's take this one to get a while to get used to, man, but you know what's really tragic as well, Pogmas, about all this?
What?
Is that Darth Vader's voice actor, James Earl Jones, in the original voiceover. He's just, he's passed on just within over 24 hours before the anniversary date of 9/11. How scary is that?
Wait, what? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
How did I not notice that until I looked at the date? December 9th, he passed on, and then
Oh,
I know. I'm like, oh my god. Imagine, I dare not say it, but if he had gone that day, oh my god, that would overshadow what happened. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, how that is even more of a tragedy in itself. I've just realized, holy lightsabers and holy shit. Yeah, you're right, Pugmas. I didn't even realize that until now. I was like,
neither did I. I did not realize it either.
It's September 10th, and we're only like almost 24 hours in. And I'm like, holy
Tomorrow's
crap!
September 11th.
I know. And that's ironically on the date now. I mean, between this date, in between September 10th and 11th, somewhere in that time period, my dog was born in between those 2 dates. I'm like, holy crap! I can't believe this. I thought I just figured this out, and I'm like, oh my god, connections here, connections everywhere. How did I not fucking miss that? I think we need to alert everybody about that now because, oh god, how did I not realize that until I started streaming this live? Damn.
Shoot, I did not even realize tomorrow was going to be September 11th. Oh no.
God damn it. I knew there was something even darker brewing in my stomach about this. It was almost like Darth Vader's voice was telling me. I'm not trying to sound batshit crazy here, Pugmas. I'm just geeked, a little freaked at this point. I'm like, oh my god. And yet, guys in New York have just put a lovely sapphire of Darth Vader on the Empire State Building to mourn the loss of James Earl Jones. And now they're going to have to get the lights again ready for September 11th. I'm thinking, what the hell's going on here? It's almost like now I'm thinking about it. It's almost like Darth Vader's remaining ghost spirit was warning us of of what to do next. Oh my god. Can't believe this. This is crazy, man, guys. If you guys are wondering right now and shaking your heads, yeah, me and Pugmas, we're absolutely just dumbfounded with shock. Can't believe it. I literally can't believe it. Pugmas, we're going to have to let everybody else know in the servers, because obviously, how did we not forget until now? And I'm shocked.
I mean, I'm pretty sure people are gonna know about it once it's actually tomorrow.
Yeah, but not realizing to the last minute after what's been going on because the Star Wars community are all shaking their heads, and then some of them might think, "Holy crap!" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is probably the worst times to have a upcoming day to feel bad for those people who
Yeah, I know.
suffered the terrorist attack.
Yeah, the day I will admit that was the day that changed my appearance on America Forever. To this day, it's because for a good reason. That's what made me bond with my American counterparts. Why I love my red, white, and blue counterparts.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this. I mean, I get that the day September 11th is the day where that terrorist attack happened, but having this day today where someone passed away and having a worse day tomorrow, that just makes the scenario twice as more worse as it has been before.
It's almost like, in a way, September is supposed to be the month of all tragedies as I think about it. I mean, May was bad. I mean, that's Star Wars month for crying out loud. And if there's do you know what's one saving grace about all this now?
What?
At least James Earl Jones got to have one last Star Wars month. He made it through. So I guess I wouldn't say he earned his passing, but at least I can at least say as a Star Wars fan, I guess he's now become one with the Force. I mean, Darth Vader officially now, I guess, but this is, I'm baffled, man. Look, I was just mourning and ready to break down, so I realized, holy shit, there's 40 hours in between each other, and I can't believe it. Everybody's gonna still mourn for this, but I feel like hardly anybody might not pay attention to what's gonna happen next. I think if anybody's got their lightsabers out, they might as well change their sabers to red or blue or whatever, or put them side by side and someone's got a white saber so they can do the red, white, and blue flag. That's a good way to do it. But it's crazy, man. This literally broke my 2024.
I mean, I get that September 11th was a depressing day, but those past few times were bad enough. Hold on, I'm gonna say this: the past few times of September 11th happening was bad enough, but having this now just makes it worse because today someone passed away and then tomorrow's gonna be a worse day.
I
Isn't
know.
that just like a even worse scenario
Yeah.
than like those past few times? Because like the
Yeah.
past few times nothing happened before September 11th, but now this happening, it just makes
Yeah.
it even worse.
Yeah, Bradley, I popped in at the last moment. This is one of my mates who got me back in the Thomas thing named Pugmas, and he's a good lad. He's like me.
I
But listen, Bradley, I know you just found this out, but we've just both found out James Earl Jones has just passed on, and now in 48 hours, well, tomorrow actually, September 11th, all over again, and we've just realised how close he came to passing. First on the exact date of it. How insane is that?
Yeah, but it also makes the scenario worse because I remember
I
on
know
the
it
past
does.
few years when the day September 11th came, nothing really happened before, but like this happening before it, it just makes the scenario just worse than ever before.
I can only imagine now everybody else is going to be absolutely good because they're still on DeviantArt. Everyone's putting a lot of Darth Vader and Mufasa tributes to James Earl Jones who did the voice dubbing, and I think they're still going to do this even for tomorrow. Even for tomorrow, they're still going to do it. But now, God, my pain's my God, I feel like my pain's just increasing in power now, guys. I know I'm saying bad shit here, but I'm just realizing now I'm going to be double mourning. I feel like they're going to put the Twin Towers in. You put James Earl Jones combined because they've just passed within inches of each other. And this is scary, but dark in its own way. And I feel like now, if they ever did, they might as well put the lightsabers out, as a good way of mourning in the city and everything else, but putting red, white, and blue, which would be a nice double tribute. I just can't believe it. Like, how did we not realize it until just? That's mind-boggling, man. That really is. I think everybody else might have just realised it now. They might be experiencing the same holy out-of-body experience that we've just had just a few minutes ago. It's insane, man. It really is.
Yeah, it really is.
It's unreal. So unreal.
Like I completely forgot that like tomorrow was gonna be like September 11th because again I was like busy with school, so like I couldn't really be bothered to like figure out like what day it is today because like I was just too focusing on the weeks of school. But like now realizing tomorrow's gonna be like the day where that tragic incident happened. Ooh,
Yeah.
it's just really horrible to think about.
And now everyone's going to be absolutely, torn in between. People are still going to be mourning for James Earl Jones, and then for tomorrow, everyone's going to be so divided now. Like the Star Wars fandom is definitely going to be, divided now with this. It's just insane to think. We've lost so many. Like we've lost, I mean, some of them have reunited. I mean, we lost Christopher Lee for like fight back in 2015, which was very sad. He was in his 90s, I think. He was, and we've lost a few others. Like Alec Guinness was gone. Because the guy who we lost recently before James Earl Jones was what was his name again? Say official where his name was. Who played R2D2. And Peter Mayhew did Chewbacca, which was tragedy, and then Carrie Fisher passed in 2017. The only guys who are left are Anthony Daniels, who did C-3PO, and you've got Mark Hamill, who did Luke Skywalker, and Han Solo, who did who played by Harrison Ford. And they're the ones who are still left from the original trilogy. It's amazing how those two have survived. It's almost like in a very unique, strange storytelling. It's like the good guys always outlast the bad guys. It's so weird.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they always say evil never wins. But at the same time, it's just a weird scenario. All right, right back. Anyways, Pokemon, I think we might want to wrap it up. I think can't go
Yeah.
any further. We might catch up a bit later on.
Yeah.
If you see the other lads, just tell them I said hello to them. Is that all right?
All right.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
That being said, I might wrap this stream up anyways. This is GameFan701. I say one last time. James Earl Jones, may you rest in peace, man. Thanks for the memories as Darth Vader's voice actor. But remember who you are, and the Force will be with us. Always.